morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me out in the perimeter garden on Outside with Jeff. Today I'm going to be planting golden Hubbard winter squash. These are perfect to plant along a fence row. They do vine. They have a bushy and viney tendency, so I don't like to put them in a raised bed garden where they can smother out other things. You plant them along a fence, you can let them grow out into the yard a little bit, and they're not really going to get in the way of anything except a little bit of your grass. The vines can easily be moved out of the way for mowing and then put back in, and as the plants get bigger, they'll shade out and they'll keep that grass from growing out of control. Now, I've already went through and hoed up this dirt and prepared it and raked it smooth so that the video could go by a little bit quicker for you. So we're just gonna get right into the meat and potatoes of things and start planting. Now, these are a winter squash, which tells me that I'm going to have a good germination rate. I'm not going to have to take a lot of extra care into ensuring the germination, and they're also going to need quite a bit of space between plants. Seed packet says they need 3 feet in between plants. I do have a couple brassicas here. I'm going to plant them pretty tight too, just because by the time these winter squash need that space, these will be long gone. So let's get right to it. You want to plant 2 seeds per hole, and then later on you'll come back through and you'll thin if both seeds end up germinating. So you go about a 1/2 inch deep, cover them up. I use a stick to mark the spot so that when you're watering, you can ensure to get good water coverage where you need it. Go down about 3 foot. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't have to be exact. Once again, 2 seeds in the hole, about a 1/2 inch down. Tamp it. Use a seed marker. I use sticks. They're readily available. And I can always reference back to these videos if I'm not sure what variety I put where. I've got 2 more winter squash varieties I'll be planting. I have quite a bit more row space here. I'm thinking about doing either 4 or 5 locations for this specific variety. We'll just see how it works out. 1, 2, 3. Go about here. Spacing doesn't need to be perfect. Just make sure that the soil you're putting above your seed isn't real clumpy. You want the seed to be able to break that seed coat and to come on through that soil after it germinates. This specific seed packet lists a, 95% germination rate. So all these seeds should come up. And if they all do, if I get 2 plants per hole, like I said, I'll come back through and thin them out. In previous winter squash planting videos, I stressed to you the importance of not overcrowding. By overcrowding, you're definitely going to cause extra stress on the plants. They can have more disease pressure because they won't have as good a ventilation. And that extra moisture can cause a lot of issues, especially in squash plants. I went ahead and put 3 seeds in this hole because one of those seeds was quite a bit smaller, and I do want to make sure that all 5 of these locations that I'm planting do end up giving me the plant. With a 95% germ rate, it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Now I want to talk a little bit about this breed or the variety. It says here that the squash should produce 8 to 10 pounds a piece. It's delicious in pies, baked or steamed, broiled or mashed. It's an outstanding, easy to grow, and prolific winter squash variety. The squash will be ready to harvest when the skin becomes tough and it's difficult to pierce with a thumbnail at the end of the season after the plants have died back. You'll then want to store it in a cool, dry location to enjoy for up to 4 months. And when you harvest it, suggest cutting the squash 2 inches above the stem. Now I will say I have some winter squash that's still in my basement that I harvested last September, and right now it's the middle of May. Those were kabocha and butternut squash, and those also said they'd last 3 to 4 months. So I feel like under better storage conditions you can get quite a bit more than that. I'm sitting at about 9 months of storage on mine right now. So it does say 4 on here, but I'm going to test that and see how much storage we can actually get out of these. All right, until next time, thanks for joining me on my channel. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel for future growing guides. Thank you. Have a nice day. From my garden to yours.